This is the most expensive liquid in the world, and it doesn't come from this. It comes from this. Actually, this is just milk. But let's talk about why the real thing can cost up to $49 million a gallon.
They're off in the Kentucky Derby. Great strike is coming up on the inside. Four of them coming to the finish. The 37-year wait is over. American Pharoah is finally the one. American Pharoah has won the Triple Crown.
Okay, before we get into why this is so expensive, let's go over some basics. For the uninitiated, horse racing is kind of a big deal. At least it is here. What started as the British sport of kings migrated over to the US in the late 1800s when this guy, yes, grandson of this guy,
You can't be starting with Lewis and Clark.
brought horse racing to America and established the
Kentucky Derby.
The Kentucky Derby was the first major horse race in America, and along with the Preakness Stakes and the Belmont Stakes, makes up the coveted Triple Crown. The races have happened every spring for the last 150 years and feature a dozen or so 3-year-old horses running roughly 1¼ miles around a dirt track in only 2 minutes. And they can get pretty hype.
Epicenter has taken the lead as they arrive into the final furlong. Sandon is coming after him. Epicenter and Sandon, these two, stride for stride. Simplification down the outside is next. They're coming down to the wire. Epicenter, Sandon, great strike is coming up on the inside. Oh my goodness, the longest shot has won the Kentucky Derby.
But enough talking about it. Let's go see it in action. Welcome to Churchill Downs, home of horses and beer and mostly gambling. We're going with Dynamic One for this one. Let's go! This is a famous horse who probably won. He was the first Kentucky Derby winner, and his name is Aristides. Isn't he beautiful? This is where people gamble and spend way too much money on alcohol. Another beautiful day at Churchill Downs, and we're done. Whew, that was fun. We're here to figure out why this costs so much money. Well, it has a lot to do with that. No. I said I needed jeans, not jeans. You weren't specific enough? This is so good. Genes are everything in the horse world. For the racehorse, who your mommy and daddy is matters a lot. If they have good bone structure, strong muscles, a calm temperament, and most importantly of all, the will to run, then maybe, just maybe, those traits will be passed on to you. No, not literally you. I mean, in the metaphor, the baby horse. And this is where the money comes in. People are willing to pay top dollar to have their horse get it on with a former winner. It was reported that the famous racehorse Galileo had a stud fee of $650,000 per go. And these horses were having up to 120 kids a year. Talk about some expensive goo. But why would anyone pay that much money just for the slight edge on getting a horse that could be a winner? Well, it's because the horse racing industry is incredibly lucrative. Here's where the story takes a darker turn, because beneath the surface, horse racing is built on gambling, drugs, and abuse. After all, horse racing was the first and for many years only legal way to gamble on sports in America. And people definitely took advantage of that. $100 bets, $1,000 bets, $1 million bets. This year, a record $179 million was wagered at the Kentucky Derby. And that's not even including the prize pool, with another $3 million going to the top racers. The pressure to produce a winning racehorse is real, and the potential payoff is substantial. Anything that can give any type of slight edge is taken advantage of, whether legally or illegally. In fact, last year's Kentucky Derby winner was disqualified after a post-race analysis found the horse pumped above the legal limit of steroids. And notice I said above the legal limit, because in reality, all the horses are pumped full of medications because they're pushed to their absolute limits. The reality is that beneath the glitz and glamour, the floppy hats and the cheering crowds, there's an industry built around pushing animals to their limits just to bet huge amounts of money on the outcome. I gotta go. And that's what leads us back to this. Why is horse the most expensive liquid in the world? Well, it's because horse racing is an extremely lucrative sport, and any edge you can get goes a long way. I mean, it's the only sport where you can breed your athletes to be genetically the best. That's actually an old saying in horse racing. You breed the best to the best and hope for the best. Now, is it good that we breed animals specifically for sport and put them in strenuous conditions when they might die? I'll leave that up to you. I'm just saying, maybe we should give a bit more thought about what really goes into making the entertainment we choose to financially support. Thank you. To get access to the secret bonus podcast about this episode, and see exclusive episodes that have never aired on YouTube, head on over to patreon.com/ConnorPresents. Being in Louisville during the Kentucky Derby is insane. Like, it's insane. There's so many. I think it's over 100,000 people show up to the city for the Derby. Like, it's a huge thing, and sometimes it gets a bit hectic.